mother lied to me on Thanksgiving morning and said dinner was canceled because my grandfather was sick. 4 hours later, I drove past my brother's house and saw both my parents' cars in the driveway. Then my father posted a photo of the table, everyone smiling, captioned, "Grateful for family." I'm James, 32. For years, Mom called whenever her book club needed a venue, and my brother Nate used my law license to review contracts for his startup, just to look them over. I told myself that was just family. 3 days before Thanksgiving, Mom asked me to order the pies for 8 people. I paid for them in advance. Thanksgiving morning, she called. "We're keeping it small this year. Grandpa's not feeling well. We don't want to overwhelm him." Grandpa posted a video that afternoon, laughing at the table, clearly fine. When Dad's photo went up later, I commented, "Glad everyone's doing okay." The comment disappeared within the hour. Then Nate texted, "Delete any screenshots you took, don't make this weird." So I saved everything. My cousin Priya sent me screenshots from a group chat called Turkey Day, No Chaos. I wasn't in it. Nate had written, "Can we get through one holiday without James turning it into a status update on himself?" Mom replied, "I'll handle it. I'll blame Grandpa. Don't tag him until after dinner's done. We still need him for the firm's holiday mixer." For 3 years, I'd handled the legal review, the venue contract, and half the vendor negotiations for Dad's law firm's annual client mixer. Essentially for free. Nate had listed my firm as in-house counsel support on his pitch deck without ever asking. They wanted Thanksgiving without me. They still wanted my work. I told them to meet me at a diner. Mom and Nate showed up first. I set a folder next to my coffee. Mom lowered her voice. "People can hear us?" "Good. I want this precise." I laid out the excuses. Grandpa was sick. It was a small gathering. Nothing was planned. "Which version are we using?" Nate rolled his eyes. "This is exactly why we didn't invite you." "What about the pies?" "They were just pies. They were proof this was planned in advance." Dad walked in, saw the folder, and said, "This stops right now? Good. Then tell the truth." I slid Grandpa's video across the table, then the group chat screenshots beside it. Dad's jaw tightened. "Put those away. Tell me which one's fake." Nobody answered. Nate snapped, "You make everything about you. Every holiday turns into your thing." Instead of arguing, I asked, "So you wanted Thanksgiving without me, but you still want the free contract work after?" Dad tapped the table. "You're not a victim over one dinner. Was I family when the mixer needed handling?" Silence. Nate admitted he just closed a funding round and wanted one dinner where nobody asked why his numbers looked thin next to mine. Dad backed him. He deserved a day where you weren't the comparison point. "I never asked to be the comparison point." "You don't have to ask," Dad said. "People notice what you built, what you fixed, what you covered." Then Mom said quietly, "Your father said things feel calmer when you're not around." That was the whole thing laid bare. They found me exhausting to include and useful to keep around. I nodded. "Thank you. That's honest at least." Then I pulled out the mixer contract I'd drafted for free every year, Nate's pitch deck listing my firm, and the vendor agreements. "I'm done doing free legal work for people who only remember I'm family when they need something. The mixer's in 11 days. "I know," I said before Dad could ask. I'd already drafted the notice pulling my firm's name and the emails withdrawing my review of the vendor contracts. Mom stared. "You'll ruin the mixer." "No. It'll just cost what it actually costs." Dad leaned in. "This is family, James. Was I family at dinner?" He looked away. Then Priya sent one more screenshot, this one from the extended family group chat. Mom had written that I'd chosen to spend Thanksgiving with friends instead. They hadn't just excluded me. They'd rewritten it so they still looked generous. I turned my phone toward Mom. "You tried to skip the questions by making me the answer to them." I stood up. "You have 24 hours to correct that. The contract withdrawal emails go out now." Dad pointed at me. "Walk out and don't expect an invitation back." I pressed send. "You already decided I didn't belong. Now you lose what came with pretending I did." Without my review, the mixer's vendor contracts fell apart at the last minute, and the event got pushed to January. Nate's board asked why his deck suddenly needed revisions. Still, nobody corrected the family story. So after 24 hours, I posted it all: Grandpa's video, the group chat, Mom's message rewriting what happened, just the receipts. Relatives started asking questions. A few apologized directly. A week later, Dad told me the mixer delay cost the firm close to $22,000. I didn't respond. That was roughly what my free work had saved him every year for 3 years running. On New Year's Eve, I had dinner with people who'd actually wanted me there all along. Near midnight, Dad texted, "Figured you'd come around, you usually do." I looked at it, turned the phone face down, and joined the toast. Understanding me was finally their job, not mine.